Yeah, Ingrid's there.
Who?
Ingrid's in Indonesia.
Aru. Auntie MM.
Not hello to me.
I don't know who they were saying hello to.
You?
Oh, because Ingrid was there. I told her to tell me when she got there.
They're there again,
Yeah, that's what we just watched.
Oh. Okay.
Oh, I thought I signed out. Staying signed into YouTube takes my battery. Still pretty good.
Solar lights are about to come on. Stand by, Houston. These things up here are about to come on. It's exciting. That we watch grass grow, but we had no rain, so you'll just be looking at dust. It's exciting, isn't it? Wait for the solar lights to go on. Check out the solar lights. They're about to come on over there. This is excitement. Yes.
Entertainment.
I'll paint in the little foyer between the laundry and the kitchen tomorrow. He said he left paint behind for us.
Oh, where is that? So, what are you going to paint?
Just the wall. You know where the switch is going to go for the toilet?
Yeah,
The back of the cupboard, if you like.
yeah.
You don't understand, do you?
I do understand.
Oh.
You're painting that white.
Do you want to paint it a different colour? Everything else in there is white.
Yeah, but this... Well, I don't, if you want to...
Stand by. I have a sense the solar lights are going to come on. Yes. Bear with me. Soon. You could probably go and do the dishes. Look. Oh my goodness, did you see that? Up there. That's one. And I have a feeling in about 20 seconds, the other one's coming on. Wow. It's like magic. Dun, 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 dun. Beautiful evening. Cool, actually. I'm wearing a jumper.
Yeah, it is cool.
And the wife's got a dressing gown on because it's cold.
All I can taste is dust.
You can taste dust. I've been sanding all day.
You've had a mask on.
but I don't taste dust.
Oh, do you?
Yeah, can't stop it all. But we did get the ceilings painted today. Yes. All the ceilings have been painted. 2 coats. Did you want a coffee?
Yeah, I'll make one in a minute.
Okay, I was going to make it, but if you're going to make it, that's good. I'm tired.
Yeah, I'm tired too.
From?
Not sleeping properly.
Right. What's going on? Oh, look. I sense a scarlet poppy field. Hello, Scarlet. I will wave to you with my lip.
He's inhaled too much dust today, Scarlet. He's lost the plot.
Been sanding all day. Painting. Sanding. More painting. More sanding. That's my sad face. Yes, it was a busy day. All the ceilings are painted. I got 7 boards of the skirting done.
I don't know.
Doesn't seem much, but there's lots of work goes into each one.
I don't know if Scarlet knows about the boards. Scarlet hasn't been in the room the last 2 days.
Oh, I don't know. We got really big old skirting boards, and normal skirting boards about 4 inches. These are 10. They're old, Oregon, brittle, holes in them, dense. So we've got to sand them all back, putty them all up, sand it back again, paint 1 coat, paint another coat. But they turned out all right. Keep telling to myself that every time I do a board, it's 1 less. That's how it works.
Yeah.
How have you been, Scarlett? And what have you been cooking lately? I haven't been cooking much. Just simple stuff. We're basically just working. Every day we work. G'day. Pea soup with pork butt. Yum. Pea and ham soup. Tastes better even days later. For some strange reason, that's true. I love me a good pea and ham. I use yellow split peas. Lots of people use green. I just prefer the yellow. Beef stroganoff, yum. Well, I like beef stroganoff to fall apart in your mouth. Any capsicum, onion, garlic, paprika, yum. That thing about stroganoff, you can have it with rice, you can have it with pasta, which is how I normally have it. Bit rich for some people. Oops, too busy, I wasn't watching what you said. excuse me, yellow peas, yeah. I just think the greens, now they're not bitter, but they're not as sweet as the yellow. Egg noodles, yep, yum. Near the end of cooking my stroganoff, I will put in a little bit of sour cream, just a tablespoon, along with about half a cup of tomato ketchup. Yeah, it's not the look that I don't prefer, it's the sweetness of the yellow split pea. In fact, yellow split pea makes a good lentil soup, if you like, on its own. Very rich. I put sauerkraut in my stuffed cabbage, so you put cabbage in cabbage. Ooh, a bit breezy in the morning there, Scarlett. Cabbage rolls, they're good. We've got some members of our family that are Polish. They make all that sort of stuff. And it's fine. But I prefer like a meat and a rice. I tell you what would go well in cabbage rolls would be stroganoff. You know what I mean? Drain it a little bit. That'd go well in the cabbage roll. Ah, I got you. Yep, that's a very Polish way of having it. Sauerkraut, very easy to make. Takes a bit of time, but good things take time. I do like mixing. I'll pickle some like red onion, yellow onion, or Spanish onion, fine, very sliced. Mixing some vinegar, whatever you like, your choice, red wine vinegar or whatever. And I leave it for about a day and a bit. But I also put shredded cabbage with it. Scarlet. Certainly no stem, but mainly leaf. And probably about 3 days later, it will start bubbling. But if you just want it for the same day, you only need to do it for a couple of hours. You slightly pickle the cabbage, and the onion is yum. Salt and a big rock. That'll fix it every time. Very misunderstood cabbage. A lot of people just shy completely away from it. I'll certainly put it in. Actually, with my stews, I'll just use what's in the fridge. But if I'm thinking, I'll buy half a cabbage and I'll cut that up and put it in. If not, spinach, kale, all good stuff into a nice stew, lamb, beef, whatever. It's very good for your gut. Sauerkraut's very good for your gut. Probably in a couple of months I'll get back into cooking properly, but I have been cooking, but just can't be bothered filming it. At the end of working, I'm sort of like, I just want to eat. I don't care about the camera, I just want to eat. But we got a lot done today. Big day. Yep, it's a great additive to anything. Even a casserole of some sort. Just put it in late, mix it in for the last 10 minutes. It's a little crunch and bite and texture and flavour. Buttercup will be here shortly. This is a public announcement. The wifey's making a cup of coffee. I did offer, but she said, I'll make it. I know how to make coffee. Yep, and a bit of acidity. I tell you what always goes well with sauerkraut is apples, or even if you just gently bring the apples down by slightly cooking them, not fully. Mix a bit of sauerkraut, good little side dish. Apples and sauerkraut. an old trick I got taught years ago, Scarlett, about cooking, particularly roast pork, or roast beef, it doesn't matter, is that you get a cabbage and you cut the centre out. So you keep the two cheeks, put them in the fridge for later use, but the centre's quite firm, obviously, with the centrepiece in it, but you put that on in the baking pan, and then you put your roast on top of it. And I thought, quite clever, because it will soak up the juices. You end up with a basically braised cabbage along with your pork or beef. So as a bed. Yep, that sounds good. Apples and heavy cream. I always find that if I cook a pork roast, not a big one, like shoulder, because I like the flavour of shoulder. Hello, Buttercup. And so I'll cook it and we'll have a meal. And then we'll have about 3 or 4 different meals with the leftovers. Because pork keeps really well for a good 4 or 5 days in the fridge. Yes, you can. Yep. It's very versatile. I don't like throwing things away, so when I've ever done the cabbage heart underneath the roast, that's a side dish. I usually put in some onions in there as well, a bit of garlic, and at the end just slightly reduce the juices. Makes a lovely side dish. But as the time passes, I'll do more barbecue recipes. We don't barbecue similar to Americans who like to smoke and all that sort of thing. We tend to cook meats and have salads and things like that. Nearly became Mary Poppins, did you, Buttercup? One of my favourite dishes on a barbecue is to have that heat the grill up quite hot and then turn it down quite low. I would have marinated, say, a butterfly leg of lamb. I would have already sort of put garlic and balsamic vinegar and rubbed it all in, season it, and put it on the barbecue. And so it's already been very hot, so it will sear the first side, even though now the temperature's down, but you've had it on hot. And then probably about 8-9 minutes later, just flip it over. And then it just slowly cooks for about another 15-20 minutes. Take it off, all juicy, wrap it in foil, let it sit for 15-20. And by then you've got everything else ready. And tender little chunks you slice of lamb. Very misunderstood meat. Yes, Scarlett, that behind invigorating, to say the least. Yep, definitely Mary Poppins walk, that was.
What?
Buttercup nearly got blown away.
Yeah.
There's Petrol. Ooh, looks very spooky with that
It
phone light up.
Ooh.
I have coffee, you need to talk.
No, I've got coffee too. I'll get back in there.
Yes, certainly. By all means, Scarlett, we can discuss the coronavirus. My thoughts? I don't think they can control it. I'll be honest with you. I think it's going to be a virus that will be around for quite a long time. Hello, Shamo. I think they'll have the answer to a vaccine maybe in a year, and universally it will then stop it in its tracks. Do I think the virus is more contagious than all the other ones we've had in the last 20 years? Yep, absolutely. Am I fearing it? No, I'm going to be cautious. I truly am. So is my family, if I've got anything to do with it. I think I suppose you could say it's out of control. I think it has to have its run, if you know what I mean. It's so contagious, they're talking now that it could be feces spread, which people don't wash their hands properly when they go to the toilet, etc., as well as primarily coughing and sneezing.
So basically, before you go to the toilet when you're out, wipe the seat as well.
Oh yeah, try and avoid going to public
And
toilets if you
take
can.
tissues to use to open and close doors going to public toilets.
Don't be frightened. Stick a little pack in your little pocket of sanitary wipes, as in disinfectant wipes.
Well, see, that's why the...
Then you can wipe the dunnies if you have to go to a public toilet.
And
Wipe the
yeah.
handle before you go in. Wipe the dunny and wipe the handle before you go out.
That's why in Europe they have a little sink
Yep.
in the toilet.
Yep.
So you wash your hands before you even walk out after you've been to the toilet.
Hello, Danny G. Getting ready for work. She's working 9 till 5 just to make a living.
I make seeds wipe the trolley. What do you call it?
I think you're probably right, Buttercup. I do think, though, that it's a very hard virus to control. In other words, it's very easily transmitted. The true figures would be a lot more than what they're telling us. We talked about this, I think I talked about this about 6 months ago, about how, if a pandemic happened, how quickly it would spread because of airlines. Now, most countries have shut down China. Yep, stay home as much as possible. Another smart move, Scarlett, is to go shopping very late at night. Generally by then they've already, mopped the floors. Maybe go half hour before the business closes.
If you're able to.
Or very early in the morning. Other words, avoid large numbers of people. And if you go late at night, you get bargains. That's also a good thing. I think we've got to be realistic and say this is going to be around for a long time. It may be controlled in countries like Australia and the US, but trust me, if it hits Indonesia or Southeast Asia where they don't have the facilities, it would be devastating. At the moment, there's no... The physician who tried to warn the public he died, Danny. He passed away. And the public in China are furious.
It seems really
Oh, it's
strange.
huge. It's huge here. I'll give you an idea. 2 weeks ago, where I used to live in a small city called Geraldton, north of Perth, they shut down the lobster industry because 97% of the product went overseas. Now, it was easy to shut down because the people that buy it offered $0. So the fishermen just stopped fishing. So that's an impact. Chinese tourists make up about 30% of Australian visitors. That's stopped. That's gone. Chinese do spend a lot of money. They go out to restaurants, they buy things.
Yeah, gold and all the opals and that here when they come.
Yeah, I think one of the things that was more disturbing, Danny, than anything else is that he did release information online to warn people. He was then visited by, and we can't use any other word than the Chinese Gestapo, to tell him to retract, and he was hit with all sorts of threats. So he did what they asked. He retracted, and of course, he was right, and he passed away from the disease. Yeah, casinos have lost a lot, that's for sure. I tell you what, it's an upside in one area, is that I'm going to tell you what's going to be hit immediately is manufacturing, talking about appliances, cars, machinery. Now, there's going to be one of these small things that people forget. A lot of produce is made in like Taiwan or Japan or Sweden, but they get a lot of their componentry from China. So manufacturing, particularly vehicles, is going to be heavily impacted. It's going to be, in my country, billions and billions and billions in loss of revenue, without doubt. There will be food shortages, but in countries like Australia, we produce all our food. All those other luxuries we get from overseas, the bits and pieces, not such a big loss. So that's not going to impact Australia. We export food in huge numbers.
That's all right. Buttercup sent us a survival pack.
Yeah, we've got a survival pack. We've got shortbread. I've got some of that cheese still left. We're
And
doing
Danny,
okay.
look, Danny's wearing your hat.
Yep. I wore this hat all day. I've got a different T-shirt on, but last night I had Buttercup's T-shirt on.
Yeah. What about the school in Queensland? Is there any more news on that yet?
About the young girl.
Well, the one.
I don't know.
It seems weird. I wonder if that was true.
I don't know. But I mean, the Southeast Asian countries. See, in places like Jakarta, there's millions of people, and they don't have the sanitary conditions that we used to, and they mix in their hundreds of thousands every day. If the virus hits there, it will be devastating. It's not a bad hat. Actually, it's a bit big for me because everything that's come out of Texas is really big. Fits good.
Yeah, that's like I said, I make seeds.
Every corner there are attention signs about the virus. Even when we log into the computer chart, get messages about the virus pop up. Yep.
So you've got wipes everywhere, Danny. Wipe keyboards down and stuff before you use it, all that sort of thing.
If you're not lucky enough to work in administration, which usually has a nice glass screen, but if you're working in amongst the people, it's one of these domino effects. Okay, one person comes in off the street, just one, but this person who came off the street has been in association with 400 or 500 people for the last 5 or 6 hours. I'm not feeling too well. Danny, what can I do? Get away from me. Get away. Right, quarantine. What? 5 more people come in. You know that guy that came in here 5 minutes ago? We had lunch with him. I'm not feeling well. Get away, get away, get away. Quarantine, okay. And then all of a sudden, even in the Western societies like Canada, USA, Australia, we wouldn't be able to meet the capacity. If we had thousands rushing towards Danny's work, they have a triage, that'll work, but what will happen is that they will end up moving people to a military base. Guaranteed. And somebody's already mentioned it, but I'm not going to say or infer that this would be the case. Do you know all those FEMA camps that are empty at the moment? Danny? Yep, and I'll guarantee in your hospital, the cleaners have routines which have changed. It'll probably be every 2 or 3 hours they'll be mopping the hallways and wiping the walls and the taps and the drinking fountains and the doors entering the hospital, because that's what we used to do in the prison. We'd double up. Instead of once a day, it'd be twice or 3 times a day. Well, most countries, I know this will be a bit of a shock to some people, but most countries have, in the Western world, Australia's one of them, we could have 2 million body bags delivered tomorrow. Yeah, Ebola, that would have been intense, very intense. Everybody, you know, nervous. Ebola is deadly. I think Danny might correct me, but I think it's a 50% kill rate. I think the world will have to get used to this virus. It'll be a management issue. It'll be a chase for a vaccine. Chase for a cure? I don't think so. Most viruses run their course in your body. We can help you with, or Danny could tell you, we can help you with your temperature, your pain, your fluids. We can do all that. But viruses are basically untreatable. Yeah, I can understand, Danny, but you also have that in you that you think that you have to go because who else is going to do it? We had, I think, 7 or 8 inmates with AIDS at one time, and that's pretty normal. You know, out of 500 you'd have maybe 10, and that's in every prison. I would think it would be completely the opposite,
Yeah,
Scarlett.
that's what I thought. The
Because what happens when it gets warmer, more people come out. That's just my opinion. In the middle of winter, there was an article by an immunologist regarding how fortunate the Northern Hemisphere is that it is winter, because less people go out all day. You know what I mean? Like, we go out a lot more in summer. Come winter, it's too cold. Go out a lot less. But the one thing that worries me more than anything around the globe is that, and God bless them, we can't accuse little kids of anything, but if kids go to a school of 1,000 children somewhere in the world and 2 or 3 have got it, it will be rapid. I'm not sure about bacteria thriving more through heat, but I do know, like say, if you've got more people running around bumping into each other, your odds are increased. But even Danny's hospital will have what they call an exit protocol. If it got so bad, there would be a skeleton crew left on at the hospital. They wouldn't leave 100 people working in a hospital. If every ward is quarantined, you might do shifts, but they would minimise the staff. Sounds cruel, I know, but it's for a very good reason. You're playing lotteries. But what I have read, and there's been enough deaths now to get a statistic on this, is that most of the people are over 50 that are getting this and dying, but they already have existing medical conditions. In other words, they have a weakened system. They don't have as much fight. There have been younger people die, and even a baby has contracted it, but in essence, it's over a certain age due to the death rate being higher with them because of existing medical conditions. The mother had it, Scarlett, and the baby was confirmed to have it as well. I haven't heard any more about that.
Yeah, you sort of hear bits of a story, but you never hear what's happened about it.
Yeah, like I say, we in the West are fortunate that we have systems, medical facilities, protocols in countries like Indonesia, Vietnam, in Thailand, and they've already had quite a few. They don't have a system to back it up. Should you be scared of it? No, but you should be smart. I truly believe that it is not controllable. I think it will run its course. Many people will unfortunately die. I'm not hoping this, I just think this is my feelings. And I think that the only cure-all is a vaccine. And I'm sure they're going hell for leather to try and create one. I know scientists in Australia have already replicated the virus, so now they can work to try and have a vaccine. If they came out with a mandatory vaccine, would you take it? Probably not.
I don't know. I probably would. Yeah, I probably would.
I hear, Gemma, that if you do take the new vaccine, it means you become anti-hugging, so you have a choice. If you take the vaccine, you'll live. If you don't, you can still hug. But just be smart. I mean, like I say, minimise. Go to the shop earlier or later.
Yeah.
You can't do much if you have a job like Danny's. You just got to do what you need to do.
Well, if you work in general, if you need to work, that's right, you can't do much. You just take precautions.
I haven't had anything all my life, Scarlett, just my choice. But that's up for each individual to determine. I wouldn't tell someone not to take a vaccine. I don't take the flu shot for just one reason. There are at least 5 or 6 flus going around at the same time. But they generally look for the one that's being caught most by people, and they'll create a vaccine for that. So it's a percentage game. You could very well get the flu vaccine to stop the nasty, and then you get the other one. You still get the flu. You still get pneumonia. Because there is bacterial pneumonia and there is viral pneumonia. This is viral, a virus. This is totally different. Bacterial pneumonia I've had, and very unpleasant, trust me. But just, if you can just, like I say, you don't have to avoid everyone like the plague. But I know it sounds cruel, but the people that you're more than likely to get it off in the future is kids. Because kids go to school with hundreds of kids. Now, kids have a fairly strong system. They're young, but if they go around to grandma's place and she's 90 and weak, and they actually could be a carrier, and that's what they're worrying about at the moment, is that not all viruses you get do you suffer from, but you could carry the virus, inadvertently passing it on, and never get sick. It's not a high percentage of people that happens to, but it's a percentage. So a perfectly healthy person, without knowing it, could be passing on the virus. And again, without minimising what this is, this ain't the big one. You know, if something like Ebola or something similar got out of control, the numbers we would be seeing now would be staggering. So there's no quick answer. It is evolving that it's not stabilising, it's increasing slightly, even though they keep using the words every second day. Oh, well, only 70 people died today, so it must be peaking.
What are you trying
That's
to...
a bit hard.
What are you trying to think, trying to keep it quiet? It would have come out eventually anyway. I reckon it was there way before they even announced it, before that doctor even started warning. I reckon it was there weeks before they knew about it, but they did hush it up.
Well, a lot of the viruses that are crossed from animals to humans have come from people eating the bloody things.
Yeah, that's right, Danny.
I remember reading about how your genetics in particular and the DNA within you will make you susceptible for certain things in the future. In other words, you could have a trigger cancer in your body that will go off when you're 60 and you never saw it coming. But genetically it needed something to trigger the carcinogens in your body. And, you know, there's one of these things people don't really get. You don't catch cancer. I remember listening to one person saying, you know, if this person's got cancer, I'm staying away from her. And I'm thinking, you don't get it. You don't get transferable cancer.
The other thing, depending on what cancer it is, once you get opened up to remove it, can actually spread it.
Yep.
Not all cancers that happens with, but some.
Yep, we all have within us something that can become carcinogenic. But they can be triggered. Could be triggered by industrial fumes, water. But we mustn't go through our whole lives worrying about it. You know, you worry about it when it happens. You spend your whole life worrying about everything, you'll never do anything.
Well, worry, and you can cause it too. Disease is dis-ease.
That's right. Professor Mr. Angel now has the floor.
Yeah, disease
I've got a coffee.
is dis-ease. You can worry yourself into anything.
Don't
What?
worry.
So you can't read when you do that.
I wish there was a shot that we could give to scammers so they couldn't reproduce. Scammo, here's some hard-hitting facts. Terrible. You and I tomorrow have the ability to wipe out every scammer, cheat, liar, awful politics. We could just go, press a button and they all disappear. And we rejoice. You hug me like, get off me, Scammo, get off me. And 1 week later, these normal people that have been left behind, boop,
becomes mad for power. Boop, another one. These normal people that were just kind people, huggable people. Boop. It's the frailty of human nature. If you took all the evil off the planet today, tomorrow it would be replaced.
Yeah, exactly, Danny. Stop eating those sort of animals. That's right. And what did Scarlett say? I think it's Chemo. What did Scarlett say? We need to learn, common sense.
Lateral logic thinking, along with common sense. What's the old story? An ounce of prevention of, etc.
What is that?
An ounce of prevention.
I don't know that saying.
You don't know that saying? I can see the wind.
What is it then? I can see the word. Shut up.
No, I'll let you. It's easier to prevent something than try and cure it, what it means.
Like the old, there's never a problem, only a solution.
But anyway, we can't solve the woes of the planet. We can't control nasty people. That's it. I think all things that Shamo and others are talking about will come to an end shortly, because it's out of speculation and it now will be investigated. And I'll just wait. I'm patient.
And proof, truth. That's the important thing. So everybody, just make sure you wash your hands, wipe trolleys down when you go shopping. We didn't go to the shop today, did no. I wonder if they refilled the thing. I suppose
I don't
they
know.
would have.
Yeah. I was still busy painting, sanding. We painted all the ceilings. I'd show you, but all you'd see is a white ceiling, and it's night time.
How many cases of there is there in Australia?
How many
Cases?
suitcases?
No, the.
I think there's about 8 or 9.
And of course, they've still got those ones.
They got everyone in quarantine.
Yeah, lockdown and quarantine.
It's very hard to tell people to stop eating things that in their country is cultural. We get that. But if people like you're suggesting have to eat those sort of things because there's no other food, they will, because they're hungry. But like I say, I hope it doesn't hit Southeast Asia, because it will just go ballistic.
Because why would it go ballistic there?
Well, unsanitary conditions, they don't wipe their hands when they go to the toilet. There's 5 million living within a cooey of each other, walking the streets.
Yeah, I was just thinking back when we went to Thailand, they were very clean though. Everything was constantly washed, wiped.
It's the general population I'm talking about.
Other general.
People that live in markets and sleep behind their stalls and don't leave the area. So you wonder what happened, Scarlett, though, God forbid you ever got the virus, but say you did and you went to an American hospital, would they charge you? Or maybe they'd introduce a bill saying anyone with the coronavirus gets treated for free? I don't think so. There'd be money to be made out of pain. There always has been. If I get it, I'll just walk into any hospital. I can choose. They won't charge me anything. I'm really annoyed about the American health system. Gets my blood boiling.
Well, there's nothing you can do about it.
It's true. It's very true, Danny. Everyone who says, oh, I don't eat this and I don't eat that, that would all disappear. Hungry people will eat anything. You have insurance? 1,750 for the year. Sounds good.
And they pay the rest.
But we don't pay anything here. broken leg to a heart transplant, nothing. Yeah, I wouldn't eat it alive. But if you ever
Yeah.
get in a situation where you've got to eat everything that moves because you're hungry, let me just give you a tip. Boil it, and then boil it some more, and boil it till it becomes basically a soup. That way you don't know it's a rat. It's a ratatouille. The reason why you keep boiling is that whatever it has, it gets sterilised. You can't just put it on open fire and then eat it because you might have a bit that's uncooked. But if you boil it, make rat soup.
Oh, well, Tiny Tim will be right then, won't he?
Who?
Tiny Tim.
He's not alive.
No, I call Elbow Tiny Tim.
Oh, yeah, no, he wouldn't eat that. Unless you could have shawarma rat.
Oh. It actually makes me think less about eating meat.
You don't have to eat meat.
Yeah. No, just...
If you know where and what to eat, which most people don't, you can get by. You'll eat a lot of vegetation, which means you have to eat a lot of it, because there's not many calories, unless you find yams.
Yeah, and stuff.
But when it boils down to it, I would, if there was nothing available from the shops, I've got 65 million kangaroos in Australia, wild pigs, goats. I've got an ocean that surrounds me. I'm not going to go hungry. And our bodies are okay with intermittent eating. We come from thousands and thousands of years of eating plenty when we had it and eating very little when we didn't. Chestnuts, berry, roots, yep.
Oh,
Yep.
chestnuts, yeah.
We'll feed you, Buttercup. It's knowledge. I mean, if people don't know how to hunt a goat, a wild boar or kangaroo or even rabbits, if you don't know, they're going to keep hopping away from you. You're not going to eat them.
The moon looks full tonight again. Maybe I got the day wrong. I should have looked up when the actual full moon is.
Australians pay 2% of their wage, Scarlett, no matter what you earn, 2% of your wage, and that covers all your medical. Doesn't cover your dentistry, but covers all of your medical. Anyone in Australia, rich or poor, can just walk into hospital and say, I need a heart transplant. All right, no worries.
Yes. I have the chocolate
Yep.
in the fountain now.
Obviously,
Can't
I won't be
wait
cooking very much because you're going to eat that much chocolate, Danny.
I can't wait
know.
to use that.
You'll be like, here's just a little portion of food, and then there'll be a bucket of chocolate. So I'll be
Planning
saying,
already. Get my fancy teacups out of my boxes in the shed.
goat's good.
I'm not that keen on goat.
Goat's okay.
In
If
a
you didn't know, it was,
curry, I've
well,
had it.
if you had a goat curry, you wouldn't know. You'd be thinking, oh, that's lamb.
I've had goat. It's a very strong meat, isn't it?
Yep, I'm with you there, Scarlett. I
Actually-
use one of the most ancient of all medicines, food.
Touch wood. When was the last time we actually went to the doctors?
Well,
touch
last time
wood.
I went into
Oh,
hospital
good.
for an operation,
Yeah.
that's the last time I was in.
It's like the other day I was thinking, I suppose it's time I get my eyes checked because I'm 57 and don't wear glasses. I did when I was about 20 when I was doing drafting, but your eyes can correct themselves and then I didn't have to wear them.
I've had glasses for about 3 years, but I often don't use them. I don't use my reading glasses at all.
Now, you use your ones for driving.
Yeah, but I mean, like, I
Yeah.
can drive without them, as I often do think, because where's my glasses? Oh, on your head.
Just depends on the font, doesn't it?
Yeah, or how small it is.
Because I'm just thinking my whole family wears glasses, including the kids.
Yeah, mine don't.
But the kids' eyes have corrected a bit. But yeah, touch wood, I've been pretty blessed with that. Dentist, oh, I haven't had much luck with teeth.
If
I've
you
gotta
ever
admit.
get in a world that is in calamity, do one favour for yourself. Get friendly with the dentist. Because he doesn't know how to cook, garden, hunt. You might. But a dentist is more trained than a doctor.
Or a vet.
Or a vet. I have my own teeth. Nothing wrong with having your own teeth. I've got mine. But food is the biggest medicine you'll ever have. Onions, garlic, ginger, chili.
Quick look.
I agree, Buttercup. The thing about having a dependency on anything to make you feel better is that you just can get hooked on it.
Hmm.
Do you know what I mean?
I think I got the day wrong. It's a full moon tonight.
Yep. Capsicum, peppers. Very good for your circulation. What's that?
I got the wrong day. The full moon's tonight. It looked pretty full to me last night.
We got 2 full moons, one last night, one tonight.
Well, you saw the photos I
I
took.
think the world is rotated in the opposite direction. Blue moon.
Well, I'm not getting
Absolutely.
my camera out again.
If you can relax to music or the sound of raindrops or things like that, it's a snow moon where Danny lives. It's just about to peek its head over the horizon here. Scarlett says, I'm panting and reading. What are you reading, Scarlett? Oh, painting, sorry.
Painting.
I thought she said panting.
You talk about me saying, can you see the wind?
Just sounded a bit weird, Scarlett.
It's a snowman. Yeah, well, I honestly thought it was last night, and I'm out here taking photos, and it's actually tonight.
He does. He's very clever with editing as well.
You got a storm outside at the moment. Have you got
I
a
wish
storm?
we could have a storm. Actually, I just wish we had more clouds.
Yeah, you've got a storm, Buttercup. So, snow moon. Why are we calling it a snow moon?
Because it's going to be snowing with the moon. So it'll be a
Oh.
big, fuzzy sort of light.
Oh, well, I'll just go and read our moon. Nah, dry. Dry as a bone moon we have.
We've got a dust moon.
We've got a dry as a bone moon.
We didn't get a full dust storm last night, but it was building and then the wind stopped, which was good. Yep, I never mind snow at all. It's just the sleet of the ice I don't like. Nice part of the country there, New England.
Oh, yeah. Well,
We won't be too far away from you, Scarlett. We're going to go to Salem.
well, we're not booking anything right now. I did.
No, we're not
that,
booking any flights at the
That
moment.
was my decision. I don't want to go anywhere right now. I don't want to book yet, because seeds would normally be in the booking mode, wouldn't you?
Yeah, I was last week thinking about it, then I think,
Yeah.
You said, no.
So, you know, sometimes doing things how do you say it?
Spontaneously.
That's it. I'll just push my teeth back in. Is good. Sometimes pre-booking, being organised is good, but right now, I don't want to book.
My witch. Yeah, Danny G works at a book suppository. Third floor, third window to the right. Just cleans the same window every day. Ooh. Buttercup got into the tequila. Yep, MA is Massachusetts.
Oh, I don't like tequila.
Don't mind tequila in my Harvey Wallbanger.
No, I can't.
Vodka orange tequila.
Can't really. That's a white spirit, isn't it?
It's glassed off, Mr. Seeds. Yeah. I actually thought, and there was talk about it in the mid-60s, wasn't there, down here, pulling it down, the whole building. But they got knocked back.
Wow, I'm surprised I didn't get some random photos from Buttercup.
Well, I don't think you'd get near the window down here, and I don't think Lee Harvey got anywhere near it as well. Just my opinion.
It's a white spirit tequila, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't drink white spirits.
I just think that for so many decades, from probably the turn of the 20th century, 1900, that those that rule the world have had a plan in place to keep most of us ignorant, send us off to wars that make no sense, and take our wealth every time people build it up. They take it off you. Every 20 years they take your money off you. Not many people are aware of that. Every generation gets robbed, because if the truth was known in the Western world, if it worked, the systems we worked under, you and I and Scarlett and Buttercup would be incredibly wealthy. But that's not how it works. What the people that run that world do is let you get about this much and go, we're just going to halve that for you. Sorry about that. Where does that half go? Goes to them. Them that own us.
What window were you talking about?
Lee Harvey Oswald
What about him?
supposedly shot JFK
Yeah.
through the window in a moving vehicle with a weapon that's not that accurate. Yeah. It doesn't explain the obvious footage of head back, head forward. Hang on a sec. How does that work? Doesn't work. The Warren Commission never covered the fact that Lee Harvey Oswald was either guilty or not guilty. They didn't cover the fact that even in the videos that we watch, you can go to it now, JFK was shot from behind and in front.
Well, they say there was two people.
There is unequivocal. It's fact. So unless Lee Harvey Oswald had a DeLorean and could shoot one way and then in the split of a second be the other way and shoot back, one person did not shoot JFK. That's it.
No, they say two, don't they? Who was they? Haven't they
No,
named the other
the
one?
official verdict is that Lee Harvey Oswald shot JFK. The video itself makes no sense. In fact, in a court of law today, with the evidence, maybe Lee Harvey Oswald would be charged with attempted murder, but because the bullet that killed JFK came from the front, someone else would be charged with the assassination.
Oh, Dennis, I have a self-portrait of me standing in the same position in LHO's backyard in Dallas. Oh, is that LHO
Lee Harvey Oswald.
Oswald? Ew, Scarlett. That's disgusting.
If someone wanted to ask me who I think got rid of JFK, there's plenty of people that didn't want him there, even people within his own Democratic Party.
Yeah, they just had to blame someone.
Associations with the mafia. Let's have a look at the dynasty of the Kennedys. How's that gone? Yeah, not real good. Clinton's got him. No, I think Clinton would have been a bit young at the time. Mobsters. So what happened in the 60s and the 70s throughout the world, not just the USA, The technology caught up with the mafias, if you like, and people just spoke. Who was the head of the CIA, Danny, at the time?
I don't know who.
I do.
I love history, but I don't know a lot about it. Who was it?
The Clintons would have been too young, Scarlett. I think Bill Clinton's, 65 now? He would have been about 11.
The Clintons got JFK Jr.
I don't know. I don't know whether the American people will turn on him. Blatantly got away with justice that was not served.
JFK Jr.
Oh, you mean in the aeroplane?
Yeah. Scarlett said before, the Clintons got JFK Jr.
Well, one of them died of a heart attack a few years ago. One died in an aeroplane. Two got shot.
I think they got a heart problem, didn't they?
What the hell happened to Teddy Kennedy? I know he's passed on now, but he was smart. He just said, I don't want to be president. It's okay. I don't want to be president.
Didn't one of the Clintons' granddaughters or something have a heart attack very young and die? Or was it a Kennedy?
One of the boys had a heart attack.
Oh, it was a girl as well?
No, I think he was 25 or 26. I could be wrong.
Scarlett might, or Danny give me the correct info. I thought there was a girl, a granddaughter or something.
Yeah, he didn't mind a drop, did he, old Teddy? Why wouldn't you drink yourself to death? At least you're in control of it. It's fundamentally wrong when you think about it, that the average person who works hard is never elected. Why? This is American politics, right there. That's how it works. You want to be president? You ain't got money?
Now, one of the Kennedys
You ain't going nowhere.
killed a girl in a park. Oh, okay. Yes, see, a granddaughter died. Who was that, Scarlett? I thought it was a heart attack. Unless they just...
Coronavirus. No, I'm just kidding.
Yes.
I like Trump getting in for one reason. I knew he would break things, and things needed to be broken. And I knew he would be a nationalist. He would want to bring a bit of pride back into Americans working in America instead of having companies go offshore. Hasn't been that successful, though. Go on, say that word. Say the bridge word. Go on.
Say what bridge word? Chappaquiddick.
That's good enough.
Chappaquiddick. Well, how do you say it? You have to spell it out. How do you say it phonetically for me? I can fix anybody's spelling. You ask me to proof anything and I can spot spelling mistakes.
But say it yourself?
Yeah, but yeah. Chappaquiddick. Oh, tick. Oh, damn, I forgot to greet Danny the wrong way too. My spell check has corrected itself.
I would never stand 100% with any leader that was elected. That would just be me. Because everyone's infallible. I'm infallible, and I don't believe that even when a president goes bad, I don't think I'd support him. Because that would be my independent thought.
No, somebody beat me to it. If it was you, Buttercup or Danny, thanks. I'm always having to approve Chamo's comments.
That's because he's a wild child.
You say it, I said it perfect. Chappaquiddick. Cool.
I can see the moon rising. Don't go out tonight.
Was it you, Danny, that approved it, or you, Buttercup?
So, what did he say wrong?
Oh, it's just the S-H-I-T. Yes, stop it,
dear.
Chamo.
Say spam instead.
Yes.
Spam.
Oh, sometimes I read a sentence and I think, why is it asking me to approve it? There was absolutely nothing wrong with the sentence.
No. Well, if you think about what you just said, Scarlett, and I'm not having a go at you, but do you remember President Kennedy putting forward certain proposals about how he wanted America to go? A lot of people don't like that. They don't want globalists, don't want change. I think you'll find that if you got a little bit bigger than his boots should be, you might find himself just outside a book depository.
I'm just glad.
Because presidents don't run America. Prime ministers don't run Australia.
The puppeteers.
It looks like it does.
The puppeteers do.
Yep, that's what I'm saying, Scarlett. He got a little bit big and a bit too ambitious about certain things. A lot of people didn't like JFK because he believed equal rights for blacks and whites. That was one of the biggest stances he took, so did Bobby. And a lot of people didn't like that. We've got to talk about what era we're talking about, from the 50s to the late 60s. Big controversies. Rosa Parks could go on and on. There's nothing wrong with being a nationalist at all. Buy your own food, buy your own manufactured goods. It's all good for your country. I think we're all conservative to a certain degree. A lot of us have left-wing thoughts about certain subjects, like if I said, do you want to save the forest, Scarlett, or do you want it bulldozed for housing development?
Well,
Pretty sure you'd say, no, leave the forest. It's nice. You walk through it, birds sing. So I'm never 100% politically committed, because I will judge those who are elected based on their actions. Hello, Blue, but if we're going to be honest again, American politics, I want you to name the last president of the United States who wasn't a millionaire. Take your time. No rush. Hello, Kiwi. I said, Buttercup, name the last US president who was not a millionaire or was not incredibly wealthy. Name the last one.
So I just had to approve Scarlett's comment, and all she put in was dollar signs.
No, Reagan was wealthy. He was a cowboy, remember?
Well, Kiwi and Blue came in at the same time.
Abe Lincoln? No, he was rich. I'm gonna, without making it a quiz, basically, the United States presidency's been based on a club. You know, like, I'll give you the example that Buttercup would understand. The House of Lords in England. The Earl this, or the Duke that, or the Countess of something or other. And all these men sit in the House of Lords, incredibly wealthy. And they make legislation based on how will it help them. Do you think the United States or Australia is any different? No, it's a boys' club. Literally a boys' club. So unless you're in that club, because I would tell you now that I believe that the next 3 or 4 presidents have already been picked. Just a matter of the next 20 years to unfold for each one to get an opportunity. It's all about this and power. That's it. You know, you've got young Democrats standing up, wanting to be elected, to be put forward to run against Trump. You've got a fault in American politics that is, why does Trump get another crack at it? Why doesn't he have to go through a process in America to be selected? Do you know what I mean? Like, okay, he's president, but the party should come together and say, yeah, Donna, we want you to go again for presidency. Or there's 3 or 4 candidates that pop up for the Republicans say, actually, yeah, I would like to do it. But that's not how it works. It's an entrenched system that I think is crazy, because there's nothing wrong with fresh people coming in with fresh ideas. But that's not how it works in American politics. You have a good day, Danny. Be safe. And remember, Danny, if a fireman comes into you and he's got a splinter in his finger, he doesn't have to take all his clothes off, all right? It's just a splinter. Have a good day. We need to do a thorough examination.
It's smelly in there.
I've got 10% power. Oh, what do you got there? Oh, she's brought out chocolate.
Hi, everybody. Watching laugh at me as I go up and down the stairs.
American chocolate. See that guy there? That's Donald Trump in chocolate form. He's on every bar of chocolate. You know what the M&M stands for? Mayhem and madness. Crispy chocolate. Thank you very much. Cool water.
See you, Danny.
Just told Danny when a fireman comes in with a splinter in his finger, she doesn't have to ask him to take all his clothes off for examination.
Yes. Well, the splinter could be elsewhere.
Hello, Mel.
Mel was busy watching MFS.
Why aren't you on that show, Mel? Seriously? I'm going to put your name in. Do you want me to open it for you?
No, I'm saying Mel.
Chocolate. Because you're Mary's.
It's like listening to the rapper when you're in the picture theatre, isn't it, kids?
What?
I'm
There's
trying
always
to-
someone opening a chocolate in an exciting or emotional or
Trying to
adventurous
open it.
scene of a movie,
Of eating popcorn.
and they're chomping away. Oh no, you didn't watch that, did you?
Yeah.
Mel, stop it. Get another dog.
Oh, didn't you know what I said?
I thought it was MKR, I thought you said.
No, MFS.
That's true. But MKR, you could go on that. Snow is very pretty. And we ain't seen any
So
type of
you've got the
precipitation.
snow moon. We've just got the dirt, dust moon. The dry moon.
The moon is big though. I shall show you guys.
Yeah. I should take photos now, but I think I've got to get my camera out.
Can I zoom in?
Hang on, we had
Can a little bit, but it's a bit fuzzy on my camera. It's huge.
Zoom out a bit.
Zoom out a bit. Looks like someone's hand holding the moon.
Yeah, now it looks like a hand. Have a quick look, because of lag. I missed it.
I was holding the camera, we didn't see anything. Chocolate eating sessions. Ladies and gentlemen, what you need to do first of all is unwrap the chocolate. Now remember, you don't share chocolate.
Yeah, open up, word. Open up. Never take almonds off people in nursing homes. I'm telling ya.
They might not be almonds.
They weren't almonds to start with.
Yum. Well, we've been flat out all day, Mel. All the ceilings are painted. I did 7 of the big skirting boards. A Mystic Angel cooked dinner tonight. What was it?
Meat pie.
Meat pie.
Yeah, I told her. We were conversing earlier.
Right. And I'm knackered. You want a nibble, Buttercup? Go on. Go on.
We'll try not to be noisy when we eat, because I don't like that. Actually, banana and chocolate go good together.
I apologise for crunching, but it's got...
M&M's. Well, don't just move away from the phone.
Fine, I'll go down the street now. Bye. I'm gone. See ya. Have a good night. Open the gate. See ya.
Oh, I can't phone. No, I can't do it. Where are you? Can't see, it's too dark.
I'm down the street.
Yeah, I know. I told you. And then he went on. I didn't know he'd gone off. He went on and then he's got no patience. No, he was tired. He went and had a nana nap then, Mel.
I did. I was knackered. Had 10 minutes.
Must be hard being chubby fammy.
Have a good day, Shamo.
See you, Shamo. All right, see you, Scarlett.
Oh, Scarlett.
Family famous, yeah. Would have been worse if I had bought a pack of chips out.
Yeah. Well, you eat all the chips.
I know you have some too.
Not many.
Oh, Mel, take us with you.
Mel's getting chocolate. First chocolate we've had in ages.
Mm. Yes, that's right, Mel. And if you're doing coffee, you've got to bring everyone one back.
Self-induced headaches.
Oh, it's nothing worse than that sort of headache, hey, Buttercup?
Well, now that we've got a nice wooden floor, if she gets drunk or collapses, we can just drag her into her bedroom and close the door. Nice smooth ride.
Put her on a blanket and pull her along.
Yeah. Picked up a bookcase yesterday. Very nice. Big, tall, about 7 foot. Be good either in your room in there or in the lounge
I think
or
I'd
the
like
office.
it in the lounge, actually, because it's a nice bookcase. In the 2 bedrooms can be a plainer one. I'll have a look what I want. I don't need one that big.
Well, it'd sit right up against the recess. No problem at all.
I know.
Welcome back. I'm going to sing a song for you tonight, Mel, but I'm tired, so please accept my forward apologies. It will happen. It's probably not going to happen tonight.
No, she doesn't want a song.
You don't want one?
Fine, Mel.
I can do that. Even though it comes from my heart and it's special and it's endearing. I don't want to be tubey family. Well,
Famous.
you're not. Oh, she means famous.
Yeah.
Righto.
Okay, you can do a private one.
No.
Yes,
It
private
has to be
session.
public or nothing. The
Private
world needs to
session.
know. What the world needs now
Blue wants a song.
is Mel, sweet Mel. That's the only thing.
You have to do
Do,
Blue
do, do.
Topaz's song.
Blue Topaz. I need to get to know Blue Topaz. I know she's from New Zealand. I do need to know Blue a little bit more.
Flog him. Well, she's got a sense of humour. She has to. She comes in this chat. So she's got a sense of humour. Beautiful woman.
Pretty woman walking down the street.
Blue Velvet is a song, I think. What for Blue Topaz, Buttercup?
Black velvet in that old southern style. It's not really blue, is it?
What's that one?
Girl from Impamina.
Ah.
If I could sing high enough, I would sing for Mel. Girls just want to
wanna
have fun, but I'm going to struggle.
You can do it in your own voice. Make it your own song. Make it yours.
Well, if you're such an expert, you do one.
I can't. I'm tone deaf. I can't
Doesn't
sing.
matter. It's the thought that counts.
Yeah.
I think I sang an appropriate song for Bully. Hello, Adam. The Iceman has arrived.
Yes. Yep. So it just needs to be an
No, it's not. It's
awesome.
not that you need to vouch for it. I just need to know a little bit more, over time, so I can do an appropriate thing instead of just singing a song. Yep. It'll be when I get to know you a bit more, Blue. It will happen for sure. I'll be wearing a tuxedo, down on one knee,
What it
microphone,
means-
spotlight.
What you mean by getting to know them is like their humour,
Their
few-
characteristics.
Yeah, if you like this, so you can make the song yours and theirs.
Well, it's not mine.
Well, it is. You're singing it, but to them.
Yeah.
So Mel doesn't want one. So
I'm shocked. I'm
she doesn't want to be YouTube
bereft
famous.
of an answer. I don't know what to say.
She doesn't want everyone saying, "Who's this Mel Seeds is singing about?"
Well, that's what it would be. They'd say, "Who's Mel?" I mean, how many Mels are on YouTube? 5,000?
And what would Adam's song be?
Oh, it'd be definitely something like "Way Up North to Alaska."
Alaska.
Something cold.
I used to love that song on Wilverton Mountain. Oh, there's that dead
Well,
smell
then.
again. Whatever's
You
died.
probably killed something. You realise, don't you?
Whatever's died around here, I wish it'd hurry up and decompose.
Yeah, I've been everywhere. That's originally a Rolf Harris song, but yeah. I've been everywhere, man. I've been on the ice picking. I've been skidooing. Oh, going outside for a durry. Now, that's only what an Australian would understand, Mel. You know what I mean? Let's see how many Canadians and Americans know what a durry is. D-U-R-R-Y. Most Australians had an outside dunny at one stage.
I grew up with an outside dunny.
I'll wait till Mel gets back and she can tell you. Just ask her, what's a durry?
A durry?
Don't tell them. Mel can tell them when they get back.
Give seeds a challenge. Yeah, Buttercup, actually, you haven't had a question for a while. You're a bit slack, girl.
Yeah, so it's a tequila.
Yeah, come on, Buttercup.
Definitely not the same thing as a thong. Or a fanny pack. In Australia, if you've got a fanny pack, people are going to look at you strange. If I went up to Mel and said, I'm going to slap you on the fanny, I'd be arrested.
Oh, welcome back, Scarlett. What would Scarlett's song be?
Most of them call them bum bags in Australia, even though it's on the front. She's going for a durry now.
Now she's going, all right, could you told us, Mel, so we know where you are so we don't have to do a welfare check on you?
I'd kick you in the bed, Mr. Sids. Thank you very much. Very kind of you to give me so much attention with your size 15 foot.
All right, Buttercup,
Yes.
we'll give you a pass.
Yes, you couldn't even say, I'll smack you on the fanny in New Zealand. They'd do the hacker on you. That's right. We don't even call what you call a fanny as in reference to a bottom. It would be Mel saying to me, I want to kick seeds in the arse. Same in New Zealand. Arse. A-R-S-E. You love Acadia. Yeah, I think Maine would be a beautiful place too. Look, most of America is very pretty except the flat bits and the deserts. They're not like really interesting because we've got lots of flat bits and deserts here.
And they're not that interesting either. Oh, -17, no thank you.
See, I always find it a funny statement. I understand what you're saying, but it's like you have more than one bottom. We froze our asses off last night. It's like you must have, what, 3 cheeks or something? What's the story? Our asses. That, or you've got some poor little donkeys that are shivering in the, courtyard of your home, and your asses are freezing.
Why do they call donkeys that?
Because it's actually an ass.
But
That's
what
the
a name.
Well, what's the difference between an ass and a donkey? There is
Yeah,
one.
I know. What is it?
Well, one's shorter and fatter. One's like a little pony.
Okay, I could say something to that, but I won't. Is it on?
Yes. Bitterly cold. New England. Which is quite strange when you think about how America was formed, that someone actually came up
Yeah, I was just thinking
with
that.
the name New
New
England.
England, yeah. Again. It's like,
Why didn't they call it Revolutionary Park or something? Not me. I wouldn't bother, but the wife loves that sort of thing. Yep. And we've been told that Halloween sort of goes for the whole month of October. You don't have to be there for October 31st.
well, first we'll see how this thing pans out. We
Yes.
haven't booked yet, Adam.
I imagine
my-
in 6 months' time, we could get first-class return fares for about $10 because no one's flying.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, that's like our Easter stuff was out a week after Christmas.
You can get hot cross buns in Australia on Boxing Day. That's true. But now the company has decided that they're going to do hot cross buns all year.
See, people kept saying, "I wish we could have hot cross buns whenever we want." But the thing is, it's Easter associated, and you look forward to those special things coming out at certain times of the year. It's now taken away that excitement. You know what I mean?
Well, it's
it has for
treating
me.
everything just as a commodity.
Yeah.
I mean, an event calendar will come out for 365 days shortly.
Oh, buttercup.
Blue bowls. Oh. Time to go shortly, I think. We've eaten chocolate, had a drink, had a coffee. Spoke to Mel.
You have to wait till Mel comes back in the room.
So what is on everybody's plate for dinner tonight? Just curious. What is it, Sunday in the UK? If you're living alone, you wouldn't do this, but in the UK, in a family situation, you would have a roast. Yes, Adam. Not sure what size or where, but yes. Too poorly to cook, so she's definitely going to do the obvious, going to reach for the
A
fridge,
sandwich.
get some milk, which is good for an unsettled alcoholic stomach, some crackers and cheese, and that will do. Swedish meatballs with linguine.
Oh,
Sounds
yum. That sounds yum.
Sounds very delicious. Cheese, crackers, milk. It's going to work, trust me. Hot cross buns last month, but most places started December, like you said.
Yeah.
It's weird. What's the name of those New Zealand cheesel things you like? What are they called?
Oh, no, that's the chips. The bluebird chips.
No, the ones that are sort of twisted.
Oh, I can't remember.
Curlies?
Curlies.
Yeah, she likes New Zealand curlies.
I have a favourite chip in every country, I think. Best ones where Buttercup is those McCoys. And then New Zealand is the Bluebird brand. Kiwi, I think they are. Bluebird or something.
I should go on a gastronomical tour of New Zealand pies, because New Zealanders like pies like Aussie do, but they do make good pies in New Zealand.
We've actually got a shop. We haven't been to it yet. That's...
Oh, we're supposed to go yesterday. We forgot to get you some bagel.
No.
You know what I mean? Pretzel.
Pretzel. No, I'm just going to say there's a New Zealand, tiny New Zealand supermarket in Armidale.
Is it?
Yeah. Apparently all stuff from New Zealand, but I don't know what their prices are. Buttercup, we've got stuff in our shop, just a couple of shelves of English. Oh my God, the prices are ridiculous.
I still get my piccalilli, which comes from the UK. Yeah, I like a pie.
Yes, you do. You love your pies.
It's a good little travel thing. Just pull over. You can hold it in your hand and eat it.
I'm more sausage roll, but it's just got to be plain sausage roll, not those fancy ones.
Who here makes cheese on toast? I know the New Zealanders will do. But who here makes cheese on toast?
And stick it under the
Buttercup
grill.
does. That's one. Cheese and toast is very much an English thing.
Yeah, I don't like making them. I made them once, Adam, but no.
Anyway, if you want cheese on toast with a difference, now, whether you use caramelised onion, which you can buy in a jar, or just freshly chopped very fine onion, cook a piece of toast in its entirety in the toaster. Take it out. I like caramelised onions, like caramelised onion jam, if you like. But I do put fresh onions on top. Then I put the cheese on top. It's already toasted, but you've covered it in all the stuff. So under the grill, cheese and onion toasted.
I like it with red onion.
Delicious. But you got to let it cool a little bit because the onion gets a bit hot. It's raw when you start cooking it, but because of the effect of cooking, it steams it literally. So it's soft and tender and oniony. Yum.
Oniony, yeah. See, Adam, I like, this is going to sound weird, I only like the fruitless hot cross buns because I don't like rind.
Yep, that sounds good, Buttercup.
In a cake.
Just add a bit of extra kick to your toasted cheese. That's a supper thing. From when I was a kid, you'd have maybe a bit of cheese on toast. Open-faced sandwich. Sounds very posh. We just call it cheese on toast. Now, Scarlett, have you ever had a toad in the hole? Now, that's a simple meal. Buttercup knows what I'm talking about. It's delicious. Cheese, bacon, and fresh tomato under the broiler. Yeah, you got to be careful with that tomato, don't you? Hitting that top lip of yours. Okay, mix some teriyaki and mayo. Bubble and squeak, oh yeah, eh? I deliberately cook too many veggies most of the time because I don't mind a bit of bubble and squeak. Hello, Shauna. Tony loves a good toad in the hole. Shauna, behave. Toad in the hole. It's basically a Yorkshire pudding batter, but you half cook your sausages first. Half cook them. Pour the batter on, whack into a really hot oven, and voila, 20 minutes later, toad in the hole. I am of English descent.
So are you.
Yep, even though I was born in Malta, I have English ancestry, Viking ancestry.
Your parents or your great-grandparents?
Yorkshire, my great-father come from. 74% English DNA. Yorkshire pud's yum. But you got to get, the best ones is making big muffin tins, you know the big muffin tins? Oil in there. Really hot, really hot. Take it out carefully. Pour the batter into it. Back in the oven. Blows up like a balloon.
Actually, I was going to buy an
that way,
oversized...
a little cup of Yorkshire pud gravy.
In it, yeah.
Ooh.
I was going to buy an oversized
Now we're talking.
muffin tin the other day. They were
We got one in the shed, a big muffin tin.
No, the one I saw at the shop was bigger. But I didn't get it.
Like popovers.
Like popovers. Is that
Popovers.
what?
He said popovers.
I said popovers. I said popovers. Is that what you call Yorkshire pudding, Adam?
See, when I was a kid, one of the biggest ingredients I would have had in my meals, because we had lots of soups and stews, is, now Scarlett would know these, and so would, oh, my bloody shoe's coming off, and butter, she'd know this, and that is dumplings. That filled my belly, along with the broth and bits of veg and cabbage and whatever. Dumplings. Which ones Irish those in Nantucket, and they made the best toads in the hole. Yum. I don't mind toad in the hole, even cold.
Oh no, I like.
The dumplings are really easy to make, but we had lots of them as a kid because that used to fill your belly. Big buggers they were. Big dumpling, a little bit of broth, some veggie. Suet puddings, ooh, now we're talking. Yep, that's it. There's no complication. Well, you can make dumplings many ways. You can make big ones, little ones, savoury ones. Blackberry jam. I like berry jams of any sort. Suet puddings, well, it's just fat, really. You don't use all fat making a suet pudding. There's flour and bits and pieces, but my favourite one my grandmother used to make was a jam-filled suet pudding. Man, it was good. but you won't find a restaurant in Australia that says, "Would you like suet pudding for
No.
dessert?"
No.
Doesn't happen. And fried bread was
Oh, yum.
bread just cooked in, like when you make your bacon and your eggs, you throw in 3 or 4 bits of bread and fry it.
Or on a barbecue
Fried bread.
Excuse me.
Used to always go down early Monday morning and see if any lard was in the pan. Yum. It does. It's like when you make a pork pie or hot pastry mix. Fried bread's very simple. Yep, birds love it. They need the fat too. Naan bread's cool. Flatbread's easy to make. You can get away by just having flour, water, maybe a tiny pinch of salt. Don't need yeast for flatbread. I actually make something similar to that when I make my enchiladas. I make my own, basically a tortilla, but it's flour, water, salt, very thin. Pitta's pretty easy to make. Welcome back. We've been waiting for you to
Yeah,
get back.
Mel,
I've been asleep on the bench for half an hour, Mel.
It was like a homeless person he was laying
Yeah.
on the bench here, Mel. Just kidding.
I don't use oil in my naan bread.
I suppose
See,
everyone makes
naan,
it
pitta,
different.
there's lots of Indian versions of naan. I handed in my leave pass.
I know, Mel. He's teasing you because you don't want a song.
That's fine.
I use olive oil for the dough and vegetable oil to fry.
Makes dough very pliable when you use oil.
Well, the other cook's back in the room, Mel. Have you made naan bread or what's the other one?
Pitta.
Pitta.
Yeah, that's when, like, when you're doing basting for a nice steak scarlet. You don't do it straight away. You've cooked in a little bit of olive oil. About halfway through, big dob of butter in the pan.
Okay, Mel.
No, I'm not doing the song unless it's
Yep.
publicly released.
Oh.
No, that's it.
When he's singing in the shower, Mel, I'll record that and send it to you.
I'll tell you one of the things that I do like making. Just a normal loaf of bread. You're just going to make a bread. But what I do is I get a handful. I like those dried shallots that we buy. They're crunchy, they're dried shallots. And what I do is I put a handful of those in my bread mix. And it still rises, but the bread,
Oh, the kids love it. You call it
Kids
onion
love-
bread.
it's full of these little strains of onion all the way through. Yum.
Lemonade scones. What are you trying to write? Native Americans make fried bread.
Gallstone
I bet you-
pain.
Bet you'd be nice, Shauna.
I certainly can attest to gallstone pain, Adam. How big were my gallstones?
Oh my God. That was a bit of one. About like
I
that.
actually did not have a bladder left on the gallbladder. There was nothing to remove except stone. Cheese bread's yum. Best advice if you're getting gallbladder pain, Adam, go to a doctor.
Apple cider vinegar, Adam, as long as it's got with the mother. I love apple cider vinegar.
Maple scones, yum.
Yum.
I can attest to having operations for gallbladder, and if you can go and get something done about it before it gets to that stage, you know the pain you're having now, Adam?
Oh, clotted cream.
You don't even want to know what it's like when it gets near the end. I understand, but
Adam-
there's medications that can help reduce stones in the gallbladder, dissolve, but they can't do it if you don't do nothing.
And I'm telling you, Adam, if you get an infection when you're having gallstone attack, that's not good. You've got to go and get it dealt with.
Black seed oil is very popular now. And anyone ever came in and said to me, you shouldn't eat fat? Wrong. Or you shouldn't eat salt? That's wrong. But moderation in most foods is good. Don't have a bucket of fat and don't have a bowl of salt. Yep, definitely vinegar. But definitely, if you can, mate, just go and say, is there a medication I can take to help?
If they're small
Truffle,
enough.
yep, I've had truffle. It's sort of a musky sort of flavour that people go, oh, this is so good with the truffle that the one little pig found in the forest was $500 kilo. It's really good. It's nothing special at all.
I haven't actually ever tasted truffle.
It's like fragua.
Oh, no,
Do you know how they get fragua? They force feed poor little ducks.
Geese.
Geese. They force feed them till they're... That's cruel.
Because your pain, if you get pain that bad where you're doubled over, and you can ask Seeds what that's like, and I've actually had that pain too, touch wood, I haven't had an attack in years. Because Seeds left it so long, and because his was so big, a part of one of his gallstones filled, you know, a specimen jar that they get you to pee in?
That's not a big belly, that's just a scar.
It filled that, and that was only part of the stone.
1.5 foot long.
It's the gallstone going up the tube that causes the infection and the pain, Adam. So
it's the infection that will cause you a lot of problems. But like I say, do something. Not telling you, but I'm suggesting doing something is better than doing nothing.
If they're small stones, they do like a keyhole surgery. It's easier than what Seeds had. He had major surgery.
I said, rip him open. Give me the knife. Does it need to be that big, doctor? I don't care. I'm in the mood.
And if they're small enough, yes, there's some medication or something to break them up.
There is a process of dissolving. There's another
small.
process of, and I wish Danny was here, it's like a laser, but it's used outside the body to target little areas. They do it with kidney stones, etc. Your gallbladder is not that big. If it's inundated with stones, you need to do something.
See, my whole family, every single one of them, except Dad and me, he's now passed, so is Mum, bless them, all had their gallbladder out.
So do you mix your tequila with moringa along with your black seed oil? Just kidding, buttercup. Tequila.
Yes. Everybody's pain's different. Seeds pain.
My mum, when I went to the hospital the first time, Adam, I had a referred pain that all signs showed it was going to be my appendix. Everything pointed to the appendix. So they rushed me in, opened me up, and I had a massive infection. And they closed me up and said, no, it's your gallbladder.
And we can't do anything till the infection's
And so
gone.
the infection had to be fixed. The referred pain is what your body does. It's weird.
Have you got to the point where you feel like spewing when you've got the pain, Adam?
But anyway, like I say, not an experience I would like to do again. They really opened me up. I had 2 operations within 6 weeks. And they opened me up like a tin can.
Okay, Mel. Thank you for saying you'll be right back. Yes, Adam, see, when you've got to the point where you're spewing, you need to go and get checked. Sometimes it's hard to diagnose gallstones. They don't always diagnose at first go, but insist on being checked for gallstones. If you're spewing because of the pain, you need to go and get checked.
When one of the signs that I was told, and happened to me, is that you feel like you're going to be sick, but all you bring up is spittle. There's nothing in it, just like dribble, like someone's drooling. And he said, yeah, that's your body reacting to an infection.
And simple thing like having a small, tiny corner of a chocolate can set it off. Can set off a gall pain.
You just gave me chocolate.
Yeah, but you haven't got a gallbladder
Yeah, but
anymore.
it's the thought behind it.
Oh,
My ghost bladder
it's
may go into shock.
it's all right, Adam. We're here if we can give advice.
You
don't
never
have
get
to,
into trouble.
You
No.
don't have to take our advice, but
Hello, Rujix.
if we can help.
I think you'd be surprised,
experiences-
Adam, on how many people, maybe even in this room, who have had gallbladder issues. There are no rules. You just need to use the force, Mel.
Mel. Mel, you've got a wrench. You should know the rules. Come on, girl.
Well, if you're not sure, it could be just that you're fat, Adam. You know what I mean?
Well-
Just you're a chunky monkey. But get it checked out anyway.
Like I said, everyone in my family, touch wood except me, even two kids, mum, dad, my two sisters, not dad, my two sisters, my mum, you, have all had the gallbladder out.
He did say to me, after pulling out the 35 staples, he said it's unusual that you had no reaction, no pain, nothing, until the day I felt like I was being sick, but I was just bringing up spittle. He said that's unusual because your infection was quite deep and it took about 6 weeks to clear it up. So he said not to have any like indications I was ill because I was nothing.
No, he had.
I went from being really good to, oh shit, that's
Yeah,
no good.
Seeds had never had that pain, not even. Sometimes you get little pains
Nothing.
leading up to a major attack. They call it an attack. And Seeds had a major attack
Just out of the blue.
just out of the blue. And it can happen, and some people don't have an attack again for years and years and years. But when you feel like spewing or you're vomiting for nothing, the pain, yeah, you need to go get it checked.
No, Adam, I'm getting to the point of doing something is like, I'll think about it. Would you like to buy these, Mr. Adam, would you like to buy this book and this pen? And, and Adam says, I'll think about it.
So, Rujex, you had problems as well, did you, with gallbladder?
Well, Buttercup could walk into hospital today. Wouldn't cost me anything. I can walk into hospital as I did. Didn't cost me anything. The anaesthesia alone in my 2 operations would have cost close to $18,000. But it cost me nothing.
And I'm telling you, like I said, you know the specimen jars you pee in? A bit broke off the gallstones, and that's what they put in the jar for Seeds to see and show me. That was just a part of a massive stone he had. That's why he's got such a big scar.
It looked like someone had welded 2 golf balls together and sort of tapered them off. Yep, no cost in New Zealand, is it? Yep. Adam, get on a plane to Australia, mate. I'll just tell you, my long lost brother. Yeah, you'll be right.
Oh. No, it's not the nicest pain either, Adam. We do know, we do sympathise with you. It's horrible.
I personally know what it's like, and but there are things in life that are best left alone, and there are things in life that you must attend to. Your health is one of them. Rujix, my surgery.
Seeds' surgery wasn't a day surgery. Because
No.
yeah, because his
I
was
wasn't
just,
out of hospital for 8 or 9 days,
But
I
most,
couldn't walk properly for another 2 weeks.
yeah, but most people, you're right, Rujix, 99 or 95% of the people that have their gallstones out after an attack, it's usually keyhole surgery and you're out in a day, but not seeds. You had to-
My keyhole is about 1.5 feet long.
Yeah, seeds has been dissected as
JP,
well, Jono.
I know you think you had a vasectomy. Your wife called me, said, I'm getting him fixed. He's going up and down the yard, rubbing his back against the wall. He's a pain in the ass. So I'm getting him fixed. He'll think he's getting a vasectomy.
Yeah, my two sisters had just one little tiny
Yeah.
keyhole surgery to have theirs out. My mum, back in the day, I mean, she's passed now. She was 83. It went all the way down the front of her chest. So back when Mum had it was horrible surgery.
I was trying to mention that, Lou, because any tourist in Australia, if they're from the US, they get a bit of a pass, but foreign companies like Asia, they charge $2,000 a day for you to stay in our hospitals.
Yeah, but don't write if you've got any existing illness.
But if you get travel insurance, get sick in Australia with a gallbladder problem, Adam,
So you have to.
travel insurance will fix it.
So if he's going to come here, you're going to have to scrap this hangout now.
Yeah, because
So they can't, because this will be evidence.
It's all a big scam.
So they can't check up on you. No, because I had touch wood. I had a bad attack once. I don't know, must have been about 20 something, and I was in such pain. I went to emergency, and they said, yeah, it's gallstone. And I'm just scared of surgery. I am. I'm scared to go in the hospital, have anything done. So like I said, I keep touching wood. I went on a major diet because I used to be quite large, and I changed my eating habits for a little bit, and that's when I started with the apple cider vinegar and all that. I'm talking when I'm 57, 20 something years ago this was, maybe longer. Haven't had an attack since. I think maybe I was just lucky.
What?
Oh, so you can read, catch up. Yes, Mel wins.
What? Wins what?
Beat Jono saying hello, did you, Mel? So we'll be sending you prayers, Adam.
Isn't there a low income thing in America where if you earn under a certain amount of money, you're eligible for some medical attention without it costing you a fortune? Worked out my second operation would have cost close to 40 grand if I had to come up with the money. Didn't cost me anything. Plus, I spent a week and a bit in hospital, which is $2,000 a day on top.
Yes, I've got Netflix. I like watching some shows on Netflix, Mel.
Yeah. Yeah, I bet Lou Topaz what it is. The American walks into the hospital and the receptionist says, he's got a funny accent. Where do you think he's from? And the other lady says, Waitingi, I think. Just kidding. It's just an Aussie, New Zealand thing.
Well, maybe this time, Adam, just think of all the people that you've helped over the years and all the good that you've done, Adam. It is now your turn. If you can use this, what you've just said, free medical, go and do it, Adam.
Yeah, do something better than nothing. I think it's institutionalised, Buttercup. We do it a bit different here. 2% of JP and Mel's wage goes to pay Medicare levy, which is for the very reason when JP goes into the hospital for his penis reduction therapy, it costs him nothing.
I thought he had enlargement.
Shh. Keep saying it's reduction.
Oh, like, no.
You're going to blow his ego now.
Oh,
Jeez.
that's, you'll blow his ego.
No, but we do pay for it, but only 2% of our income.
Mel. No, Adam, like I just said, you've helped so many people over the years.
No, Adam,
So
let me give you a word of advice. You're a good man. You help people anyway.
So you take
You do
it.
things that aren't needed, but other people, get the reward from it. Sometimes, Adam, it's your turn.
Yes, Adam.
Not all the time, but sometimes. And Adam, if you don't get any better and you get worse, how are you going to help other people?
That's right. And then you'll be sick longer, and then you won't be in here talking to us. So I don't know what day is it there.
Sunday,
So tomorrow.
be
You
Monday.
Yep, you have a mission, Adam. It's your turn to get looked after. Then you can go help people again.
I'm going to stick my hand up. I always thought everyone else was far too important to even worry about my health. Always. I'd work when I was sick. I'd do stuff, do the extra yards. But I realised that in the end, if I'm no good, I can't do all this other shit.
Mel, give me my keyboard back if you're typing not right. You've got my keyboard, haven't you? You and VMAC always take my keyboard.
Look, the answer could be something really simple, Adam.
That's right, rejects, yep.
I had a major issue, Adam, and I was in twice for 2 operations, totally in hospital for about 3 weeks. The second one was a bigger operation, so I was in for about 9 days. And I couldn't walk for a couple of weeks.
But
it took me, the guys that dropped me off from the hospital dropped me at the curb of the house I was living in. It took me 25 minutes to get inside the house. I was sort of, whichever way I moved, it hurt. And I didn't want to take any of these pills. I think what do they call those eggy things?
Those tablets they gave you, you took one, and
yeah, I'm saying I'm not
I
having
threw
that.
them in the bin. He went troppo.
Yeah, I don't like them.
I mean, I'm 5'2" and nothing, and I'm 6'5". He went troppo in a funny way, but couldn't walk properly. How in the hell could I have carried him back into the bed? Adam, don't take seeds. What happened to seeds, it was rare.
Yeah, mine,
It's
like I
not
say,
saying
because I had no
yeah.
indications I was ill and went down like poof, my recovery was long. I probably lost, I'm about 225, that's my normal weight, and I would have got down to 175 because I couldn't even eat after the operation. I couldn't even go to the dunny.
No, it's just lucky I'm not a nurse, but I've had nursing experience. So, yes, go get it seen to, Adam. Most people, honestly, it's a 1-2 day at the most. I think Kiwi or Rujex or someone said, if they get it early enough, it's keyhole surgery.
Look, it may just be something simple. It may not even be the things we're talking about. But it's like, Adam, if you and I go to a restaurant and I order the steak and the chips and the salad, and you order the mystery, you don't know what it is. It's a mystery. I don't like that. I like to know what I'm getting.
Yeah, I mean...
So if you're a bit crook, as we say down south here, and you're not feeling that well, just get it checked out.
But that's why I asked you, do you spew? I've had that many people around me with gallbladder attacks and then having to have it out that I diagnosed you. As soon as you told me what your pain was, I said, you've got gallstones. But the first time you went in, remember?
But the pain wasn't there.
No, but the
Pain was
first...
down where my appendix were.
But the first time you went, oh, no, it's not gallstones. He thought it was something else. And I said to the doctor, I said, I guarantee he's got gallstones. You need to do something. And then look
Yeah.
what happened.
I mean, after the
Good
first op,
man.
the main reason I was not well after the first op was that I had this infection that really weakened me. And I was sort of stronger by the time I went in for the second operation, but then that just knocked me for six.
And then the tablets they gave you. And then they didn't give you painkillers when you actually could have used them.
No, the nurse would always come and say, you haven't taken your painkillers. I said, I don't want them.
No, the ones that...
I am
just Panadol.
I took a couple, but what it is, I want to know what's going on with my body and I don't want it masked. Like if I'm in pain, there's got to be a reason.
That was my
I mean, the funniest thing for me, from the hospital bed that I was in to the front door would have been about 50 yards. Now, I knew I had to get up. The first 2 days, I couldn't even move. Day 3, I sat on the edge of the bed and I actually walked about 10 feet to the door. I thought, geez, I went back to the bed. But after about 4 days, and I was walking like a robot, very slowly, I got to the front door, 50 yards,
But
50 minutes.
Yeah, but that's because you had such a big...
Well, when I
cut.
walked, I looked down because I just had a little open top thing, you know, to drive the nurses mad as normal. But and all my staples, they were all moving as I'm walking. I'm thinking, I literally put my hand over it so it wouldn't burst.
And like I said, when Mum had hers out, she was cut basically as if she was having an open heart surgery. Because that, I mean, we're talking 60 odd years ago.
Good morning, VMAC.
But my two sisters, keyhole surgery, 2 days later they were out. A couple of hours after the operation, they were walking around normal. But because seeds was such a big cut.
I mean, it literally is about a foot and a bit. Right under that rib, they cut all the way across, because believe it or not, that's where all the gallstones were. They burst the gallbladder. It was like asteroids, literally.
Yeah, VMAC, you're a bit late, love. You've not been frolicking in the storms again, have you? I mean, you have to keep us up to date, though, Adam, if you can. I feel it's your gallstones, but go get checked.
Most men just let things go, because that's the nature of us, the beast. But when it stops you doing your normal day-to-day...
For Seeds to turn
have to
around
attend
and
to it.
say to me, I got to go to the hospital, and then he told me the pain, I knew straight away it was bad.
I drove to the hospital.
Yeah, because I don't drive. That reminds me, that's one thing we will do. We need to do an ambulance cover. Yes, Adam? Do your journey. Because, yep, the ER with the Iceman, that's a good one.
Do you get a lot of ice, VMAC? A couple of people have reported, like, nasty ice storm as well. Don't think you get too much being close to the beach.
Well, that can be scary close to the beach, the big waves.
Yeah, but you're less likely to get ice because of the inversion of ocean temperature and land.
Is it still windy, Mel? Not here.
Not a breath here.
Oh, last night was shocking. It was really, really windy. Kisses for VMAC.
Yeah, Adam told me he got ice. Yeah, quite a few have reported the ice storm.
VMAC, you've got my keyboard again. Mel gave you my keyboard. I told her to give it back to me. See how VMAC just typed that?
Well, you don't have to do movies, Adam.
I put a couple of boring ones up tonight. Oh yeah, yeah. Wouldn't still be cold though. Ooh.
Ice rain, nasty.
So now
Sleet.
I'm feeling Adam's pain and I'm feeling VMAX cold.
VMAC doesn't have a gallbladder. Inside there's just a turnip.
What?
Yep. Got carrot for a liver. But it's a beautiful night here. It's very nice. Oh, you got pack ice.
Is that ice that can start moving?
Well, pack ice is what usually breaks up the rivers. Let's see what Adam wrote there.
Yeah,
it's
it would
like
be.
It's like someone shaving ice in an ice storm. Unless it gets wet, then it's nasty because it clings to trees.
I mean, that's just looks so amazing though, Adam. So pretty, but I know how dangerous it can be. I do realise that. But I do go on sometimes YouTube and watch those videos that people do the ice off the trees and like a line of trees and it's snowing and all the ice and snow on it. It's so pretty, but I realise it's dangerous. Yeah, and the cracking sound. I mean, it'd be an experience to go watch something like that. You end up with 3 lobsters in it, VMAC?
That'd be nice.
Oh. No, but can you see that? That's a plane taking off.
It's not going to Wuhan.
Mel and Jono, and Buttercup, you 3 have gone very quiet. Where are yous?
Pay for view.
Oh, damn, it was empty.
Well, our summer's not breaking. So I guess your winter's not either.
Oh, there's Buttercup. Oh, yes, of course, yeah, trying not to move. I think you better go to bed, Buttercup. Maybe a cup of Panadol or a coffee in bed.
Kero can be dangerous. Fumes, carbon monoxide.
Yeah, you just got to be careful. I grew up with Caro.
Look, I know how cold it gets. It gets bitterly cold. What I would do is put on 3 pairs of socks, 2 pair of track pants, jumper, sleeping bag, and then jump into bed.
I look like the Michelin Man.
I was at the salvage yard a couple of days ago, and in Australia we had a thing called a Metters stove. It's like stood about 3 feet high and about 4 feet wide.
Cute.
But in the salvage yard they had a miniature one.
Oh, yeah, I wanted the mini one.
And I'm thinking of getting it.
Yeah, let's get it.
Put it in the barbecue area at night. Put a bit of wood fire, it'd be nice.
Oh, I would put it inside and put stuff on it.
No, I would use it.
It's so cute.
It's about a third the size of a normal Metters stove. Don't know what he wants for it. Yeah, I used to use them all the time when I was younger.
Yes, Buttercups is self-inflicted. We all gave her sympathy.
Yeah, you can just see Buttercup last night knocking back the tequila.
Yeah.
Radio going. The minute you walk in the joint.
Dun.
And she go, oh, put my neck out. Bugger.
What, Mel? What's wrong? Mel, did you Damn, Mel, you said it round the wrong way. You're supposed to say be right back before you go, not when you come back. Jesus, read the wrench rules, woman.
What?
Oh, Mel forgot to say be right back. She went and
She
then...
doesn't have to say be right back.
No, it's just a
There is
joke
no
we're
rules.
doing.
Okay. My rules in this room are que sera, sera. Whatever will be, will be. Oh, okay, keep quiet, fine. I'll get out the picture.
No,
There you go.
she's talking about
If
you.
she's happy now,
No,
doesn't want me to sing, wants me at shut up.
she's talking about... Don't tell her about the rules about she has to say be right back.
Roger.
So actually, that's an interesting question. We're talking about things. What other injuries have you had? Like I've had stitches under my chin from when I was a kid, sitting at the back of an old Ford where they had the steel on the back seat, and Dad went over a bump, and I hit my chin.
I have a tool. Oh,
You have a tool?
no, she is.
Oh, yes. And I have stitches on my knee when I fell over and hit a brick. I've broken nearly every single toe on my both feet. One time was through dropping a high chair on it.
I've been run over by a car. I fell out of a car.
Yeah, you did. You've
I
been
got caught up on
burnt.
barbed wire, which was electrified. That wasn't fun. Yeah, lots of things.
Yes, VMAC, that's exactly
Nearly
right.
got eaten by a shark, but I was too quick for him.
Yes, Mel, I think you win. You've had the worst, Mel, I think.
Yeah, I remember it was very popular when I was a kid, que sera. Doris Day, if I remember correctly.
But Mel, you are normal. You are normal. We love you. Well, I love you.
I like you.
Yes, Seeds likes you. I
Don't
love
push
you.
it.
I give you a hug. I think I was actually pretty blessed, touch wood. Apart from breaking my toes, I haven't broken major bones.
I've broken a few. Mainly not mine, but
Yeah, you broke other people's bones.
didn't mean to.
Yes, Mel had a very bad accident.
See, Mel got a broken neck when she went out to lunch once and someone said, it's your shout. What?
I'll slap him for you later, Mel.
It's an old Aussie saying when you get someone in the pub and there's three blokes drinking and it's my shout and it's Adam's shout and bloke sits there and thinks, oh, free beer. And then we look at him and say, it's your shout, mate. And the guy looks to the barmaid and said, these two blokes want to buy another couple, thanks.
Broke your elbow. Oh my God, that's an unusual spot to break, Scarlett.
See, we've got so many interesting stories amongst us. I promised to do the one-on-one interviews, just a story. It should be good fun. You fell backwards on a rock. Did you learn to walk forwards at any stage? Or? That's nasty, falling on a rock.
Or breaking your nose. I bet you that's painful.
I
Anything
bet none
on
of
the
you.
face.
I bet none of you have been shivved.
No, because they've not been prison officers
true.
like you.
The opportunity exists if you'd like to join the force.
Wait, VMAC, you broke your elbow as well. Oh, Seeds just fell in ice.
Yeah, when I was a kid, I fell under the
Ice.
ice twice. First time, I went straight down. I went about 30 feet. Didn't know what was going on because I was only about 6. And then I popped up into a hole that a cow must have stepped through. And my sister, older sister, pulled me out and beat the shit out of me saying, don't do that again.
Because she was getting in trouble because of
Yeah,
what happened
so
to
she
you.
decided to beat the crap out of me. So I'm freezing, suffering hypothermia, which was handy because I couldn't feel much when she was beating me next to death. And then I copped it again off my mum when I got home. You stupid Boy.
You were doing.
Yeah, like I meant to fall through the ice.
Yeah, actually,
It was a plan.
Yeah, my mum said the story of when she was little. She broke her leg falling through the ice, and she got a hiding. She got in trouble for it. So did you do gymnastics after that, VMAC? Yeah, well, I suppose you would actually where you grew up. That's true.
Actually, a friend of
My
ours.
mum was the same growing up in Germany.
Where does Gail live in Canada? Do you remember?
Yeah, Thunder Bay.
No, that's the other one.
They both live close.
Do they live close?
Not
Anyway,
too far from each other.
a friend of ours, she's about 68, and her husband's older.
Yeah.
And it was about 6 weeks ago, VMAC, that he went out into the veranda and slid, broke through the barrier, and crashed.
Fell 8 feet.
Yeah, and hurt himself really badly.
Really bad.
Good old Canada weather. I was not only hit by the car, I went underneath the car. I broke my leg in 9 places. So I was told.
From broom ball. What's broom ball?
It's a housewife game, obviously. I'd love to go ice fishing. I reckon it'd be good fun.
But my two sisters are hopeless. They trip over their own feet. There's nothing there and they'll fall over. They're incredible going anywhere with them.
Yeah, I don't think I'd like to sit on top of the ice without a shack around me. Have a couple of drinks.
And it'd still be cold.
Oh no,
in
you
the
can,
shack.
you can put mats down and you can put your feet on boxes and stuff. It's not a big deal. Chair.
Now I'll leave you to do the ice fishing.
I mean, I'd like to do it for an experience,
Oh, an experience.
not to take it up
Well,
as a
I'll have
full-time
the
hobby.
I'll have the experience with you by doing a little bit of a video for you, and then I'll go back in the warmth.
Righto.
Oh, it's a hockey arena. Runners with suctions. Cups
You have
with a
suction cups on your bottom. Righto. I know you're a bit weird.
Ah, okay.
I always found a sport funny. I mean, it's obviously very skillful, don't get me wrong, but curling,
Oh,
that's
yeah.
funny.
Yeah.
They're so intense. Stop, stop, stop. Tink.
Isn't that an Olympic
Yes,
event
it's an
now?
Olympic sport. It's been so for a long time.
Oh God, yeah, Scarlett. I won't be doing that. Yeah, I'd have to have a heater, as long as it doesn't melt the ice.
No, it won't melt the ice. Just something to heat the air. Yeah, like I mean, I just find it funny, the actions and the scrubbing, but very skillful. There's no doubt in my mind. Yeah, whiting, one of my favourite fish. Well, relax, Buttercup, and we'll see you tomorrow.
All right, it's okay, Buttercup. We know, self-inflicted. That's fine. No, go on. Go to bed. Maybe have a cup of tea or something.
Perch are illegal in this country because they destroy our waterways. Even though they're illegal, they're still here, don't get me wrong.
Mel, excuse me. Tap, tap, Mel. Buttercup's going. You need to say goodnight to her. Come
And
on.
I think on that note, we might say goodnight too, because it is getting late here.
Yeah. We've just got to wait for Mel
Sounds
to come
good.
back now.
Cocktail sauce. Sounds yum. Got one more cigarette to give Mel an opportunity.
So, Adam, they weren't in the pickup when that happened, were they? A brand new Chevy to the bottom of it.
No, obviously it just sunk. Yep, I know. I understand the game, but I just find it funny. Although skillful,
Yeah,
but funny.
it is. It's skillful, but it is funny to watch. That's true.
And he cried at the same time, I imagine, Adam.
So he drove it on there, then got out, and then it sunk. Oh.
Remember, it would have been 30 years ago. Guy had a four-wheel drive, decent-sized boat, backing it down the ramp, got it in the water, thought he put the handbrake on, got out, was actually trying to winch the boat off, and then started moving. He had about a 7 or 8 year old kid in the front, and he's yelling to this kid, jump on the brake. The kid thought, stuff that. The kid jumped out onto the bonnet, and as the car went into the ocean with the boat, the bonnet was about that far out of the water, so he was just standing and saying, Dad, Dad. And Blake's going, oh no.
Yeah, so that's probably, I'd have to get used to that, Scarlett. If it cracks and always makes sound, I'd be thinking, am I going to go under? I'd be getting off. I want to know where the water's edge is of the frozen lake, like where I'll start on the solid ground.
Yeah, well, he was smart not to go racing towards the car.
There's not much he could have done.
I should do it one night. I should go out bush, wait till about 9 or 10 o'clock at night. That's when everything starts moving. And just turn on a sound recorder.
And just tape it.
And I swear to you, you will think it's a horror movie. But it's just the bush at night. There are noises that can't be explained. Growls.
We'll be sitting there with the car doors locked, though.
Oh, no, they're not going to hurt you. It's just the sounds that are astonishing. Birds, lizards, snakes moving around.
Depends what it is. I scare easy, yet I'm quite willing to go walk around a cemetery in the middle of the night.
Oh, the dead don't bother me.
Mel, where are you? Hello, Mel.
What's for dinner tonight, VMAC? Others have explained what they're having. What are you having? Even though it's only early morn for you.
Well, that'd be an interesting video, Adam. I mean, VMAC doesn't do videos, but it'd be...
Doesn't do what? What are you thinking?
To record that would be cool.
And I've camped out many a time, and it's just, you know some of the animals that are making the noise just through experience, but then the other noises, it's just weird stuff. Some of it's insects, some of it's animals.
We have the Min light.
Mm-hmm. We certainly do. And a Gadacha man. Linguine and white clam sauce is what Scarlett's having. What's VMAC having? Maple glazed salmon and maple glazed tofu.
I'll have the maple glazed tofu,
Mr. Tofu.
I don't want the
Don't
salmon.
come to me. I don't want bean curd.
I do. I'll have that, VMAC.
She'll have it though.
It looks like you don't eat, because you don't eat salmon either.
Well, I'd eat it if I was hungry, don't get me wrong. Does VMAC understand? understand how many beings have sacrificed their life to have a plate full of tofu.
Fried,
Beings' lives matter.
fried tofu, yum.
Oh, and then to fry it and sear its poor back and shoulders
Oh,
before she puts it on a plate.
God.
Here's an interesting fact, and it's not having to go to vegetarian or vegans or nothing, but flatulence. Do you understand what I mean? A fart. People on vegetarian diets fart more. Proof's in the cow. Cows only eat grass, fart a lot.
I like tofu. I know there's a harder tofu.
The only one I like
And then
if I've
there's a
eaten is
squishy.
silky, yeah. I'll eat the silky, but
Is that what Martina buys? Is
yeah,
that the one she
yeah,
fries?
Yeah. Well, you can eat tofu just as it is when you buy it. The silky one comes in a brine of some sort.
No, that's not what Martina fries then.
Yes, Scarlett. I mean, we only need to look at our jawline. We have crushes, bunches, incisors.
There goes the plane again.
No, VMAC, I'm not pointing to you in any ways at all, but or how you prepare it. It's just fact, scientifically proven. Vegetarians fart more than meat eaters. There's a very good reason for that. Their digestive system works better. Vegetarians' digestive system is very efficient. Meat, on the other hand, takes quite a long time to process. VMAC buys extra firm farts. No, it's just the process of vegetables. I mean, I can tell you that I can make alcohol out of a handful of vegetables. I can't chuck a steak in there and make alcohol out of a steak. Why can I make it out of vegetables? Natural sugars, yeasts, all the good things that make you fart more. So if the whole planet turned vegetarian, can you imagine the smell? We're going soon, Mel.
Yep, I just had to tell her.
Now she's back.
Yep.
She was going, now she's back.
Yes.
There is no doubt a vegetarian diet is certainly far more healthy for you.
The extra firm tofu is what Martina gets because
I
she
don't like
fries
that
that.
at
I
all.
do.
I like the silky.
With peanut sauce.
Well, when I say like, it would be my preference.
Be right back. I'm back. Mel.
We, your highlight? Mel, we have to go to lunch again soon.
Yes. And yes, Mel, we will. It will be your shout.
Yep, we'll have McDonald's.
No, I don't want McDonald's.
We could find a fine tofu restaurant
I did it.
and walk past it. No, something different, Mel.
I don't know,
You're a
no.
yum charologist.
Mel, you're
Come on.
You're hooked on that. Mel, I like
What
tofu.
about nice steak or schnitzel, something like that? Then you can sing a song, Hey True Blue. No yum cha for you. You're gonna have a steak and salad.
Well, I don't want a steak either. Mel will eat whatever.
Yeah. Probably won't be for a couple of weeks because we are just under the pump at the moment, but we will do it. I will get my people to contact
To call
your people to arrange a meeting.
But just remember, everybody in the room, you are quite welcome when this is done to come and help me unpack because everything has to be dusted first.
I'm going to Mel's place when that happens because
I've-
Mel's coming here.
I've got
I'm not
like-
going to hang around for that.
I don't know, I'm probably exaggerating, a foot of dust on every box.
No comment. Yeah, I don't like dusters at all. I've been working in dust for 3 months.
Yeah, it's actually getting a bit worse, I've got to say, because we've just had no rain. The yard is like we're in the middle of the desert.
Schnitzel, you got it there, Hammers. Yum.
Hey, Hammer.
I do like a schnitzel. Not all the time, but I do like it. We used to go to this pub in Richmond in New South Wales. I'm not kidding you.
Oh, yum.
The schnitzel was about that big, about a foot and a half long and curly, as the Germans make
yum.
it. Mwah.
Oh, because you don't have that. Well, we can get you a uniform, Mel.
What, a little French-made uniform?
Look, I think
With a G-string?
Yeah. I think I should just put an ad in the paper. Any OCD cleaner people out there, you're welcome to come to my house. I'll have all the equipment at the front door. Grab something, come in and go for it.
I'm just going to hire an enormous skip bin and put it next to the shed. And if I'm helping,
No, it's Monday in, I don't even know what time it is. It's
10 o'clock.
10 o'clock. It's Sunday night here, 10 o'clock at night. Oh, so VMAC, you're going to come and help me dust, are you?
As big as the snits. What's that? We'll definitely get you around, Mel, and I will cook the schnitzel, and the wife will make German Kartoffelsalat. You'll love it.
And I'll make spätzle.
I'll have little slices of lemon if you want to put it on there. I'll even make you a little pepper sauce if that's what you want.
Spätzle and gravy.
An enormous plate like that. Just sit you in the middle, you can eat your way out to the edges. Hey, Sarah, Sarah. Do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do.
Okay, I'm going to go have a shower. Yes, spätzle.
Yeah.
Spätzle.
Whatever you do, Scarlett, don't make it with self-raising flour.
No.
It's funny.
I did that
is
once.
so funny.
I did it accidentally. Yeah, I'm thinking. I know, it's just, I'll just open the shed. When all this is done, get a skip bin, because I won't keep the boxes. Take one box out at a time, dust it down, open it carefully, and I carefully take each thing out and see if dust got in the boxes.
It'd be like an archaeological dig. Tony Robinson will be here. This woman has been digging through these boxes since the turn of the century.
Mel, spätzle, no, it's homemade noodles. Through one of those.
I think she thought you might have said spatchcock.
Oh.
And there's nothing wrong with a good spatchcock, let's be honest. It's just a little chicken gone wrong.
Apfel sauce. And red cabbage. I love red cabbage.
Little newbie noodles. Yeah, they're good. They don't take no time to cook. And you got to have gravy with it. And pork. Sauerkraut.
With the homemade noodles.
Kartoffelsalat.
Yep, we're going to go
Richard
to
Simmons.
VMAC. You've got friends coming. How dare you? You're in the room with us, socialising with us, and you're going to leave.
I'm just going to read that. I have to go. I have some friends coming. Really? You have friends?
This is mean.
It'd be those half-naked cleaners that are coming around.
Tell them to get a life and come on here. Just kidding. Oh, dear.
But I will cook you a meal that you'll fall in love with, Mel. It will be crispy honey sesame prawns. Yum. Yep, this person come walking up the driveway with a little child and say to VMAC, "Hi, we're from the Mormons." And she say, "Stop, wait a minute." She'll just put tag on a friend. Friend, can I make a little video out of you guys? What? And VMAC will say, "I'm doing the Lord's work."
Tell the story when the Mormons come to your place before we go.
It was a true story. I had two Mormons, young blokes, probably about 20, on their push bikes, wearing their black ties on their white shirts with their suits. They come to the door, and the first thing they said, "You can be saved. If you don't go through us, you'll go to hell." The first bloke I threw over the fence, followed by his bike. The second bloke was running up the street, so I threw his bike over the fence as well. And I yelled out and said, "If I'm going to hell, you bastards are joining me."
Bit mean, but
Fancy knocking on someone's door and saying, "You're going to go to hell."
I can save you.
I haven't seen the Mormons since. That is a true story. I am not kidding. I wasn't angry. I just thought, "You bastards. How dare you?"
You were young and didn't think. You just grabbed him, chucked him, bike followed, then the
You
second
could see
bike.
the look on his face when he hit the other side.
Now when we get people knocking on the door, we can save you. And I'm going, oh, even though I do witchcraft, well, they haven't knocked here in a long time either, have they, after I said that?
It is not the work of any God for you to impose your views upon others. There's no Bible that says that.
Yep, you snap, that's right. Snap. Well, the sirens are out. I think they might be coming to get us.
Yep.
Yep, I do snap, Mel. You know, not a lot of people actually know that about snap when you say something at the same time.
Because in the US, they say jinx.
Oh, is it?
Did you know that, Mel? If you say the same thing at the same time in the US, they'll say jinx. J-I-N-X. I'm sure there's an American that'll back me up here. Yep, jinx or I owe you a Coke.
Oh, so I never heard of I owe you a Coke. I haven't heard that one. No,
You
a
do
lot of
realise, Mel,
people.
you're giving me weaponry for a nickname for you.
A lot of people
Little snapper.
don't know that, Mel. I often have said snap, and someone's going, "What are you going on about?" All right, I suppose I'll have a shower and give everybody a kiss.
You owe me a beer.
Oh, you owe me a beer.
So, greeting in Canada. In Australia, if Hammers walked down the driveway, I'd say, "G'day, Hammers, how you going, mate?" If I come to Canada and I'm walking up your driveway, what do you say, Hammers? Other than, what do you think you're doing here? We say g'day. Pronounced G-U-D-A-Y, g'day. Hey, bud. Yeah, we all got our own little colloquial language. And like if you're leaving, I'd say to Mel, "Check you later. See you around like a risshole."
And I say I'm going to the blanket show, which I'm going to do now.
We painted the ceilings today, Hammers, along with other jobs. You know, I'm knackered, and I've got to get up and do more tomorrow. But doing a job means there's one less to do.
Yeah, don't look at how far you've got to go. Look at how far you've come.
Right, so that's while you're sitting having a coffee while I'm sanding and painting you. You think you're doing?
Come on,
Keep
tell
going.
the people
Keep
why.
going. Well, I won't let you.
Exactly. And why won't you let me?
Because there's old lead paint on it.
Exactly.
And I'm masked up and all that sort of thing.
I was going to go have a shower and go to bed.
Sounds like a plan.
We've lost Jono. He didn't even come back and say goodbye.
No. Him and Buttercup disappeared.
No, Buttercup.
Say no more. Yeah, but she
Buttercup-
might have just stayed on a bit longer to make it not look so obvious.
Buttercup said goodbye. Everyone else said goodbye except Jono. Just kidding.
Well, sorry you just got here, Hammers, but we've been on for a while and we're knackered. So from the cute one.
Love yous.
I like yous, all right? Don't push it. And Adam, I
Adam,
hope
yes.
things work out well for you. And don't worry,
We need a report, Adam.
just do what you need to do, mate. And we'll catch you another time. Good night, everyone.